the viewer element of it. So the first and foremost thing to say, the colours in here representing temperature. So this is a live view of a data center floor, as you can see in 3D. So the colours here are representing temperature. Very unique, sort of a USP of the EkkoSense system. As you can see already, our visualization is extremely important. So we're collecting a lot of data points here. So in this, we collect data every 5 minutes. So there must be about 3,000 data points in this particular hall being collected every 5 minutes. So you understand to visualize that data is really, really important. And how we've done that, and very unique to us, is that we've actually took half of our software team are actually games designers. So this actual whole platform is built on a games engine. So that means we're taking all that learnings about visibility, usability, and speed, all from that stuff, from the software, from the games industry, and bringing that into the data center. So as you can see, this is a live view. I can first-person view as well, so I can walk around your data center live in virtual reality, point at things and understand how they're performing, all live. And that's due to the gamification, and you'll see that visualization, simplification all the way through the demonstration. So as I listed before, we've got at the moment you're seeing the live thermals, the colors here representing temperatures, but I've got many other filters that I can show as well. So I'll show you in racks. I can see things like humidity. I can see things like as well. I can see things like power usage. So if you have, it's not essential, but if you have intelligent PDUs, I can see how much they're drawing. So if I hover over that rack, I can see that it's 22 degrees C, 31% relative humidity, and a measured power of 0.5 kilowatts. Or I can click on a PDU, for instance, and I can pick up all the readings from that PDU. Or I can pick on an air conditioning unit, and there are loads of information we're getting from an air conditioning unit. All that data being collected every 5 minutes. And as I said before, you can click on any element, for example. So let's just click on a rack and then click on the reading, so I can just see what the temperature readings are over the time. So all the data is being trended. So we collect data, as you can see here. So we collect data, as I said before, every 5 minutes, and we store all that data for typically 7 years, but that contract can change based on the contract with a particular client. And one of the key elements of the software on the bottom is I can see all my data, performance data, in the timeline. So if I just go back, for instance, I click on my timeline and I go back a couple of weeks ago, and I just see, I can go and click on my timeline, I can see how this site was performing in my timeline a couple of weeks ago. So you just jump back in time, so I can see here the site looks very different. And I can do a very quick split screen, compare and contrast my site, as you can see here on the left-hand side a couple of weeks ago, to the site as it is now. So it's very different, an unoptimized state. So it had some cold spots and some hot spots on the left-hand side, and now on the right-hand side, the room is looking a lot more well balanced. So I can, as you can see, I can do a swipe mode as well, so I can compare and contrast how I was performing very, very quickly. So I'll just put that back on single screen. So the next element I wanted to show you was the live information we're getting from the site, and look more focusing on the cooling capacity and the cooling utilization. So very unique to EkkoSense is we have a sensor or a range of sensors called EkkoAir, and that goes in each of the cooling devices on site, be they downflows or upflows or air handling units, different types. Doesn't matter what type of cooling system or cooling medium you use. We have a collection of sensors which universally pick up, and unique to us, they actually pick up live cooling duty. So they tell us how much cooling a air conditioning unit is actually delivering. Very unique to us. So if I just zoom in for a second in this example, and I'm just going to take away the racks for a second, just so it's a bit clear. So in this view here, you can see I've got 5 air conditioning units, and in this example, they're downflow units. And what we're doing, again, unique to us, is we're picking up actual cooling duty. So I'm going to click on the cooling utilization. So this is telling me live actually how much cooling these air conditioning units are actually delivering. And we know of no other product, software or hardware package which is actually providing you this information. So this view basically is showing me that the height of the grey box here is the actual total or nominal capacity of the unit, and how full of it is actually how much cooling that unit is doing at the moment. So what that's telling me is these 3 units here you can see in the dark blue, they are delivering between 80% and 100% of their cooling duty. But the 2 units here on the left-hand side are actually delivering between 10 and 30% of their cooling duty. And that is being tracked all the time. So we can actually see how air conditioning units, how the cooling units are actually performing. What are they performing against their actual nominal duty? How are they affecting and changing as the room environments are changing? And again, this brings me into some of the analytics of the engine as well. But before I just go on to the analytics, you can see many different points here. If I show you, all this data is graphable, so I can see in this room, it constantly tells me, I've got downloadable reports, PDF reports, etc., that show you your constant utilization in your room, so you can see how well performing, either as a snapshot, but over time, you can see how well performing your cooling units are doing as well. All that is graphable, all that is downloadable.